We all know he still have, what, 3 more years, I believe, $5.5 million, so 2 more years following his contract. But here's the number I got for you guys. Are you ready? Here we go.
Ugly.
0 goal and only 3 points in February with 10 games compared to Nick Ski, right?
Are you serious?
He have 1 goal in his last 20 games with the Montreal Canadiens. He has only 5 points in his last 20 games.
This is not good.
It's about 1 goal, 4 assists. He have 9 games of the 20 games. He has 1 or 0 shot on the net. So after the game, 45, 45 or 48% of the time, he have only 1 shot or 0 shot on the net.
That's bad.
He have 47 hits and 20 games. So an average of 2.7, I will say to you, approximately per game. But 14 games of the 20 game, guys, you have only 2 hits and less. So 2 hits, 1 hit, or 0 hit. You have 2 games at 5 hits and 1 game at 6 hits. Remove those 3 games, guys. 31 hits, honestly, for the 17 games. This is not Josh Anderson they signed up. 21 goals last year. He has, then the year before that, he have 19 goals. He's on the pace right now to score only 8 goals. It's really not a great year for Josh Anderson. And you go month by month, October 1 point and 1 point in November, 9 points in December. Then you have 2 points. Now you have 3 points. Not a good year for Josh Anderson. For me, my biggest concern is body language. You know, it's sometimes you see the body language from the bench, from the eyes, everything like that. I know he works sometimes. Martin Louis gave him a chance to play, but for me, I don't like his body language. But I don't know what you think about Josh Anderson, both of you, and the people in the chat.
Wow. I mean, that tells it all, Coach, those stats right there. And when you consider the fact that, for the most part, when he scores a goal, he'll score 2 or 3, that doesn't speak well for the other games, right? There's a lot of zeros in many categories. And to me, sometimes it's not even just all about those numbers. You have to find, like when you're in a slump, you have to find a way to contribute to the team. If it's checking, it's checking. If it's hitting, it's hitting. If it's killing penalties, you kill penalties. Whatever the case might be.
Exactly.
You have to find your niche at that point until you get your scoring touch back or whatever the case might be. Now, we've seen him over the last 3 years. If you look at his stats, they're degenerating every year. He's never really, I could be wrong, but I don't think he's ever gotten over 35 points in a year, even when he was with Columbus.
Dear Jesus, you're right.
It's you get to a stage where at his age, this is what he is, unfortunately. And I could be wrong in saying this, but I'm getting to the point now where I think there's been a lot of attempts to try to teach him, and it hasn't registered. So to me, that means maybe he doesn't have a very high hockey IQ because he's not adapting to the situation properly. Because he's got the size, he's got the physicality.
That is correct.
He's shown from time to time that he can score when he really puts his mind to it. But somewhere it's being lost in the translation. And that doesn't bode well for the future for him, and definitely doesn't hold a good spot for him in the future in Montreal. So
Damn right.
if they can get something going, maybe a team might take an opportunity to use him as a big body in the playoffs, just a depth piece. If that's the case, you take whatever you can. Rid yourself at this point.
Oh boy. So this is a tough one, Coach. Like, last week or the last show, my headline was about rebuilding Gallagher, right? And I talked about how, you could see St. Louis was spending a lot of time with both Gallagher and Anderson since last year, trying to, work with them to try and add different elements to their game, try to kind of get them to evolve as players. The big thing with Anderson, Coach, as we know, is it's his vision on the ice. He's not really able to make a lot of more advanced reads on the plays. For anybody who's watched him, they'll know, like, he is amazing on the rush. He is like a power horse, like Tatar used to call him, like when he gets the puck on his stick and he's entering the zone. But then, guys, I invite you, like, next time you see Anderson with the puck, look at how he's carrying the puck. He's never looking around to see.
That's a fact.
what's happening around him. He's just really kind of skating with horse blinders on. It's almost like he's raced. It's predictable, and it's like it's he would be a great like sprinter, right? Like like the 100-yard dash,
100
like where you 100-meter dash, you have like a singular focus, which is I need to get from point A to point B as fast as I can. Remember, Coach, you were trying to get that little image of a rabbit that's leading, like the runners in a race. Like that's what Anderson is, right? Like he's an amazing athlete. Has all the physical tools. He's got the strength. He's got a great shot. His speed is incredible. Like probably one of the fastest players on the team. To me, it's the same message as I had for Gallagher last year, which is noble effort by Martin Saint-Louis to try and challenge Anderson to kind of like, look at how he can expand his game and everything else. But like the analogy I made with an old cell phone that you just can't update, the software just won't work on this device, right? Like it's just not going to work.
So true, bestie.
So what do you do in that case? Well, you have to go back to basics. Guys, same thing as Gallagher last week. He's pretty much an untradeable asset at this point with with the value of his contract and everything. So you need to build him back up. Now the thing with Anderson, remember we were saying last week, you can't give Gallagher jobs like go kill a penalty because he doesn't have the speed. But maybe a penalty kill, it would be something that he could do, like even though like Coach, the one thing that you're like, these numbers are really challenging, but the thing that's not covered in these numbers is like the lack of like positioning in the D zone and things like that too, right? So because you need good hockey IQ to kill penalties too, right? Like it's
absolutely.
So you need to find him something to do, right? Like that where he's going to be able to add value. And to me, like Coach, like remember that the Saint Louis expression where it's an 80-20 league, so we don't expect that Anderson could play 82 games where he's flying all over the ice, hitting everybody. It's just not sustainable to do it for 82 games or during a whole game. But what he needs to do is maybe a skill that that would be something that he would be able to do is find the moment in the game where the team needs you to be that way. You might not be able to do that physically every shift to go out and like skate and hit people and do that stuff, but at least find moments in the game where you could turn the momentum for your team. Like those are not things that you necessarily need hockey IQ for, but it's something that you could learn the game within the game, right? Like when to do those things. Because guys, like it's the Steve Bégin factor, right? Like everybody loves Steve Bégin because he went 100 miles an hour, like would hit everything, but it's not sustainable to do that for very long, and that's why Gallagher is probably in the type of physical condition that he is now. Maybe a solution is you get him to, again, go back down to basics. What can you do to help the team? We know you can't play, like berserko mode for every shift that you're out there, but try to find moments in the game where you can impact the game in a positive way for your team. And maybe once he feels that those things are coming along, then maybe the confidence starts to come back. I think, if he can get back against like the 15, 20 goal scorer, playing on a third line for us, that's kind of what he's going to be. But I just don't see that Montreal will be able to move him or Gallagher unless you're willing to give up assets.
Thanks for watching another Ab Daily News video of the day with the hockey coach, Joe Code Friendship. But before we leave, guys, we invite you, don't forget, please, to click on the like, subscribe to the Hockey National Show, and leave us a comment about this episode. And of course, remember, you have greatness inside of you.